It's time to start painting all these pieces and getting them prepared for the big assemblage. So that's what I'm doing today, probably all day. Just going to paint everything with gesso. Come on along for a little while. Hi everybody. I have pulled out some of the pieces that I'm going to put on the big assemblage, and I'm just going to start giving everything a coat of black gesso. So I thought I would just turn on the camera and bring you along for a little bit. I'll just speed this up just so you can get kind of an idea of the kinds of things I'm thinking about using. It'll all get painted. Whether or not it all gets used, I don't know. I found this hourglass, kind of, I guess, some kind of a timer. An old knob from a really old TV. Remember when we didn't have remotes? Most of you probably don't. You had to get up and actually turn the knob to the channel that you wanted to watch. A lot of this I already showed you. I have just a bunch of old keys. I found this, I don't know what it is. It was in with my dad's stuff. Some kind of a electronic or electrical part of some sort. It's got like a rubber knob, but then there's this connector and then this glass tube with, there's like a little spring I think in there. I have no idea what it is, but it's cool. I found an old timer, like the kind that you would like plug in the wall and then you would set the time that you wanted the timer to come on and go off. And I took it apart and I got all these cogs out of that one timer. Something that my parents had here. It was in the attic in a box. You never know what you're going to find, right? So I think a lot of this you already saw. A lot of junk jewelry. Just pieces, parts. So I'm just going to start covering it all with gesso and getting pieces ready to go down on the big board. And then I think what I'm going to do is clear the rest of the stuff off the board and do a layer of like metallics on the background that I have down there so far, because this will all get some kind of metallic embellishment after it goes down. But I think this is a good opportunity while the board is empty of stuff to also embellish that with some metallics and just get it looking rusty. So that's my plan. I'm just going to leave the camera run for a little bit and then I'll be back at the end. think I am going to take a break because I got an awful lot of stuff painted, as you can see, or not. You can see most of it. Of all of this, yeah, you're seeing most of it. And then this tray of chipboard pieces and a couple of back plates from an old cupboard door. And there's tons more stuff. The things that are already like a copper or brass color, I'm not going to paint, because they'll get like patina, rust paste, that kind of stuff after they're glued down anyways. So I'll try and keep some of the original color on those things. I think I'm going to stop this for a while, move this stuff all off and put it somewhere to get good and dry. And I may start working on the big board. Like I said, I want to put some rust paste and some metallic paint, dry brush some of that on there just to get a base down. And then all those little cardboard pieces that I cut, I think I'm going to run through my embossing with an embossing folder that has gears on it, I think. Or maybe just some of them, and some of them I might just put the little brads in the corners to look like rivets. Okay, I cleared off all of the black painted pieces, and I'm just using a Deco Art metallic paint in bronze and a big stencil brush, dry, dabbing it in, working it, the paint into it, and then wiping it off on a towel. So I have very little paint, and I'm just going very lightly and just letting that texture paste that I put on here, seems like forever ago now, because that's where I started. But I'm just letting the texture paste pick up some of that metallic bronze paint. Going a little heavier on the edges because those will definitely be seen. A lot of the rest of this background obviously will be covered up with all the assemblage stuff. But this way, where there are areas that maybe are peeking through, it's not going to just be flat black. It'll be, I'm going to turn this so you can see it. I need to measure this board. I'm not exactly sure what the size is on it. Somebody asked me and I said, I don't know, I would guess it's about 4 by 2, but looking at it, I don't think it's 4 or 2. It's maybe 3 by 18 inches, maybe 3 feet by 18 inches. I'll measure it in a minute and we'll know. I can just turn this around this way so you can see this end. This big brush makes fast work of this kind of job. Okay. I like that. The black really tones down the metallic, but yet it looks good. And before I start building, if I'm going to paint the other side, I probably should do that soon too and just get that done. Copper. That seemed like, let's try some copper and see if it may just warm it up a little bit. These paints are so old. This is Ceramcoat Gleams. I think these metallics are from way back when I painted the ceiling mural in our old shop. Yes, I said ceiling mural. I actually did that. I don't think I could do it again at my age now. That was quite a while back. I'm not even in that shop anymore, but painted two big mermaids and a compass rose, and a picture somewhere. I'm just going to go around the edges with this first. See, I kind of like it. It got a little heavy there. I'm just going to hit it here and there with the copper. Copper's just a little bit brighter than the bronze. The bronze is a little bit, what do I want to say, more brown, not as warm as the copper. And using the big stencil brush, I mean, there's always more paint in a stencil brush than you think there is, and it just lets you kind of build up the layers. So yeah, I like that a lot. There are a couple spots where it grabbed here and there, but that's okay. I'm just going to use up what's on the palette, which isn't much here. Okay, yeah, I like that. I like the color. Alright, so that went fast, and I mean, it went on so dry that it's dry enough I could just flip this over and paint the other side, and then I'd be done with that. I think I'm going to do that. So I just wanted to bump this in to the rest of the painting of the day, and then I'll slide this in, and then at the end you'll see in a minute I'll be back to having all the black pieces on my table again. I went ahead and embossed and then rusted with my rust paste all those little pieces of cardboard. I needn't have embossed it because the rust paste kind of filled everything in. You can see it a little bit on a few of the pieces though, so I'm happy with it. I'm not sure if they're going to be too bright. If they are, I can just always dry brush some black or some burnt umber over them. So that's the end of my session for today. I'm really tired. I did a lot. So that's where I'm at. Thanks for just coming along for the work session today. I appreciate you being here. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Share it out. Let your friends know that we're working on this great big assemblage board. We'll get going on the fun stuff before too long. You got to do all the prep work first, unfortunately, but this was kind of a mindless painting session today. And yeah, that's where we're at. We're heading in the right direction anyways. So thanks for being here. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider doing that. I'd appreciate it a lot. Ring my bell so you're notified when I upload new videos. And in the meantime, go make some art. Bye.